ไอ้โหลโอ้
For decades, the Mohir elves, exiled from Finnanmere,
Hello
have
guys,
roamed Io in search of a
welcome
new
back to
home.
the Spellforce walkthrough.
In
part
Northander, there
9.
were promised lands of their own. But as the Mage Rebellion arose,
Hello.
they were quickly forgotten. Now, years later, they have taken shelter in a nomadic settlement in Leafshade, a dense, dangerous jungle, amidst the no man's land between Utran and Wulfgar.
Welcome.
Well, maybe they would have if it weren't for heretics like you. We are Ellen's children, all of us.
We are the children of our mothers and our fathers, for heck's sake. If you are so pious, then why did you leave Finn and Mir in the first place? What we need is rationality and reason, not praying to the gods that have left us.
Heresy, Varden. This is heresy.
Heresy.
Let's see.
Huh? An Evran? What are you doing here?
What are these two arguing about?
I don't see why that concerns you. How did you get in here anyway? Get lost.
Salangar. A pure blood. Just when I thought this day couldn't get any better.
Not what I'd call myself. I haven't been in Finn and Mir for 8 years.
Is that so? Well, who am I to judge? Who let you in?
There weren't any guards.
What? Great. Just great. This is getting better and better. But please, forgive my manners. I'm Varden Merilith, second scryer of Lathwain. Who are you? And what do you want? Are you with the soldiers?
Soldiers?
The army folk. But if you have to ask, I suppose you're on your own. Tell me then, what brings you here?
That's a long story.
So you're the corporal from Lianon? Well, that's a surprise. I know the story, and once more I would like to apologize for what Scryer Elion did. She should not have opened fire. And also, I would like to express my admiration for your courage. I know you refused to carry out the order your general gave you.
How?
A scout observed the conversation you had with that man. Either way, your story sounds bizarre, but I don't think you are lying. And after the events in Lianon, it's only fair if we help you now, to make up for it. Not to mention the fact that the bloodburn needs to be stopped.
So you'll provide us with troops?
It's not that simple. I have to bring up the matter before the other scryers, and they all have to agree. But not now. We currently have our own sack of problems to deal with.
Are you the leader of this place?
One of them, yes. I'm the second scryer, and the Moorhere Council is made up of 6 scryers in total. 7, actually, but our eldest passed away recently. Which complicates the decision-making, as you can imagine.
What problems do you have?
The short version? Leafshade has been struck by the bloodburn. Elves and animals are affected, and for some reason it has a different effect on us than it has on your race. It corrupts us.
Corrupts?
Drives us mad. And if that weren't enough, the Council can't decide on a course of action. Pathetic, isn't it? People are dying, but all we do is bicker.
Where do you and Finrior disagree?
Oh, that's simple. Finrior claims that the corruption has nothing to do with the bloodburn, but is a curse of the Guardians. Of Ellen, to be precise.
The Guardians aren't children throwing tantrums.
Yes. And in these days, I doubt they could even if they wanted to. The Guardians are gone. This is a fact we have to deal with.
So where do you think this corruption comes from?
As I said, I think it's just how we elves react to the bloodburn.
How many of you are affected?
Not as many as in your kind. 1 in 10, maybe. And for some reason, the infection only spreads outside the city borders.
As I said, I'm trying to find a cure for the bloodburn. Maybe I might be able to help.
You want this alliance to happen as quick as possible, don't you? Well, yes, maybe your knowledge about the bloodburn could indeed help us. Give me a moment to think this through, will you? There are some things I need to consider.
All right. We should probably talk to the other scryer, too.
Oh, great.
What? Who are you? Who let you in?
The gate was unguarded.
Really? Next thing you know, this place is being overrun by undead because the guards have all gathered to hear us bicker. You're from Gravefell, aren't you? I recognize that accent. I'm Arlen Finrior, first scryer of this settlement. What do you want?
I'm looking for allies, but let me start from the beginning.
Ah, so you're Isamu Taha's child. Well, you're lucky, I believe, that the Guardians have given us all a free will. I can see that you're nothing like your father, and it's true that the Bloodburn has to be ended. I can agree with those crazy cultists on that much.
So you're going to help us?
I would if I could, but as you may have gathered by now, we have our own battle to fight here. Ellen has cursed us.
Who is the other elf? The one you were arguing with?
A misguided fool. And sadly one with a very influential father, who made him the second scry of this township.
Does this town have a name?
It does. Lathwain, which roughly translates as respite.
Respite? Sounds kind of temporary.
Well, it is. I don't know how familiar you are with our history, but after the Finnenmere exiled us, we were promised lands by the Queen. Then the Mage Wars came, and understandably, our promised home wasn't of import.
That incident in Leonon won't make the Lord Marshal more sympathetic to your cause. You broke the White Mist Treaty.
Yes, and it was a horrible mistake. But the people were scared. Particularly because Merilith did an excellent job at instilling fear and telling them that our little problem could be fixed by sending a group of scholars into Northander territory. And what good did it do? Nothing. You'd think that this failure would have shown the Moria how incapable Merilith is as a leader, but sadly, it didn't.
This looks like a nice enough place, though.
Well, save for the undead roaming through the forests.
I see. So Leafshade is...
Yes. We will find our true home someday. I'm sure of that.
Ellen has cursed you?
Yes.
And you think Ellen has inflicted this curse upon you?
I know. You see, since, briefly put...
Yes, I know this.
As you can imagine, the years we spent on the road searching for a new home were strenuous. And as a result of that, more and more of our people lost faith.
Well, you can't deny that the Guardians have become weaker.
That is true. But...
I guess you have?
Yes, indeed.
You're assuming the Guardians behave like little children. Take away their sweets and they run off crying.
It's not that simple.
Probably not.
And what is all that?
Isn't it obvious?
You mean...
Yes. Ellen has protected our kind for millennia. And now, we have betrayed her. This is her punishment.
If we help you lift this curse, would you be willing to ally yourselves with us?
Well, the Bloodburn is a scourge for all
Now what?
Well, if there's any way to get their support, it's by helping them cure this corruption.
Huh? What is it?
Just a traveler. Don't mind me.
Salagar, this is getting ridiculous. If nothing happens, we'll still be arguing in our graves. Tell me, your offer, does it still stand? An outsider who isn't dependent on the councils could be just what we need.
As I said, I'm happy to help.
Good. Come, let's discuss this elsewhere.
What do we need?
That's better. Blasted, isn't it incredible how this old man is unwilling to see reason?
From his point of view, you're the one who's being stubborn. He seems to be a very pious man.
There's a difference between being pious and being deluded. Anyway, all the better you're here.
What kind of proof did you have in mind?
That remains to be seen. First of all, scout Leafshade's surroundings. Secondly, after the disaster in Lianon, the last thing we want is another breach of our treaty.
Who are these humans?
As I said, I believe they are from the Royal Army. So far, our contact has been...
If it really is the Bloodburn, what makes you think...
I've asked myself the same question. But then I realized there's no point in worrying about it as...
If the jungle is corrupted, isn't it dangerous?
No. The infection doesn't happen instantaneously. If you were to stay...
Very comforting.
All right.
Yes, and thank you. I appreciate your help.
Meow's hammer. I was beginning to think these discussions were never gonna end.
No argument there. Let's go talk to the soldiers and see if they let us into their territory to find that proof.
You got it.
That way. All right.
Understood.
Blasted armor.
They killed one of our heroes!
No, don't die on me, will you? We need you.
What's next? Mm-hmm.
Blazes! Help me, somebody!
Just give the word.
Yes?
Curtiu?
something you need?
That way?
Anything on your mind?
Now would you look at that? Blazes! What has happened to it?
Clouded. Dark fog. Dying.
Tahar, I don't like the way it's looking at us. I think we should leave. All right. What the blazes was that? Why did it attack us?
The corruption. It must have taken hold of it.
That's odd. I get how this frenzy could be an elf's reaction to the blood burn. But how likely is it that a tree ant reacts the same way? Not to mention all the animals.
Help! Please!
Plan.
Help me, somebody!
Help! Please!
They killed one of our heroes!
Blazes! Help me, somebody!
What's next?
Sounds like a plan. Just give the word.
Yes. Blazes! I got this thing.
So, what's the plan?
Come on! Don't die on us now.
I need healing.
Sure. Don't die on me, will you? We need you. Yes. Just give the word.
What do you need?
So, what's the plan?
What's next?
Don't die on me, will you? We need you. Yes.
Huh? All right,
got
will
it.
do.
Yes.
Anything on your mind?
Uh-huh.
That's the way. Sure.
So, what's the plan?
Huh?
Give the word. Sounds like a plan.
Let's see. Oh, do you smell that?
Yeah, like carrion.
And the water has the same color as the blisters on the corrupted.
If you ask me, we just found the cause of this plague. And it's definitely not a curse.
A traveler. Don't get many in these parts. What do you want? If you're looking for shelter, you've come to the wrong place.
Who are you people? This is Elven territory, isn't it?
Huh. Elven territory, my arse. Just because the Moor here were allowed to put up their little town here doesn't mean they own the whole jungle. As for who we are, if you don't know, then you probably don't have any business here.
Can you let us in?
As I said, no, this isn't a roadside inn. Now, sod off.
Wait, not so fast. The Moor here sent us. It's important.
The Moor here, huh? All right, fine. Come in, but make it quick. We already have visitors.
Don't you think these soldiers will recognize you?
I doubt it. Even if they know General Noria is looking for me, they wouldn't know my face.
You should rethink your position, old man. The light doesn't show mercy on those who betray it.
Well, maybe the light can show you the way out of my bloody camp instead.
You don't know who you're messing with.
Oh, I think I do. I'm messing with a bunch of renegade cutthroats who think they can walk into a camp of the Royal Army and make demands just because their lunatic leader told you so. So, one more time for the slow ones among us. We won't attack those elves. On the contrary, if you do as much as lay a finger on them, you'll have to deal with us too.
Who are you people? Northander soldiers?
Are we clear?
Aye, sure. Yes. Look, friend, I know what you are. A defiler. And if we weren't in the camp of that fucking coward right now, this conversation would go down a tad differently. So do yourself a favor and sod off before things change. 'Cause they will.
I think these are Bane. Purity fanatics. The ones Clara warned us about.
I heard that.
If you're not soldiers, what are you doing in this camp?
Business.
I'll leave you be.
What? Wait a moment. You? Gilbert Vilmas, 2nd Division Everlight Infantry, isn't it? Blazes. What are you doing here?
I think you're mistaking me for someone else. I'm not with the army.
Oh, am I? Huh. Could have sworn. Oh, well, never mind. Who are you then? And how the heck did you get in here?
The guard let me in. My name is Tahar, and I'm with the Moor here from Lithuania. There's something we need to discuss.
Tahar? Like that sodding rebel mage bastard? Boy, I surely don't envy your name. Forentus Copper, 2nd rank sergeant to the Royal Army. So, what news do you bring from our elven friends?
Well, I assume you've taken note of this strange plague going on in Leafshade. The elves have sent me to investigate it, and are asking for permission to cross borders.
Granted.
Just like that?
What should I say? We need this plague gone as much as the Moor here. We've stayed away from the corrupted parts, aye, but we've nonetheless lost 3 men already. Just don't do anything unwise, and you can walk freely within our sectors. One more thing, though. There is something that we need done, and I don't have any men to spare at the moment. Would you be willing to—
You seem to be rather relaxed,
Relaxed isn't the right word, but unlike that bloodburn plague, this one is predictable. Since we've stayed away from the jungle and within our walls, we've had no new infections. And unlike the Moor here, we're not permanent settlers in this place.
So you don't think the bloodburn has anything to do with it?
With the corruption? No, I doubt it. I mean, I'm not a healer, but the symptoms are very different.
Of course. What do you need?
Well, it's simple. Since we made camp here, some of my men and women have we ordered. Would you—
Sure. Any idea where we should search?
Aye. Do you have a map? Here. That's where we were supposed—
Got it. Thank you.
Well, it's not as if we're in a hurry, is it?
It never hurts to have additional allies.
Oi, you. Wait a moment.
Me?
No. The Queen's golden tits. Of course you. Say, does the name Bertrand Carpel ring a bell for you?
Why? What do you know about Bertrand?
Not much. Only that he came by our camp just this morning and told me he was looking for someone. And the face he described looked just like yours. Anyway, I told him I had no bloody idea what he was on about. So he left. But asked me to leave a message if you should come by. Which heck knows why you did.
What's the message?
Just that he's up north somewhere, here in Leaf Shade, and that he'll be waiting there for you until dusk.
Huh. Well,
don't mention it. Safe travels.
What do we need?
Attack!
No!
So, what's the plan?
Now would you? I hope you have a good explanation for this.
I do. I'm Iana. I and those 5 men were hired to kill you.
You're assassins.
We are.
Who are you working for? How did you know we'd be here?
You weren't as hard to follow as you think, Tahar. And regarding your first question, Amaria Leonider.
The head of House Leonider? But why?
Well, I hate to say it, but there are a lot of people who want you dead, Tahar. The question should be, why her? And I'm afraid I don't have an answer for that. I'm not paid to ask questions.
Sorry, but I don't understand. Why did you help us?
I'm afraid that's complicated. Do you prefer the short or the long version?
Give me the long version.
All right. I didn't know much about you when I accepted the contract, save for the fact that you were a renegade soldier, and that you, together with an elf named Iria, escaped the Grey Keep prison somehow.
That would be me.
I thought so. Well, we followed your trail until Farland's Hope, where you entered that cave, wherever it leads. Since we couldn't follow you in there, we waited in the village. Well, and it was there I learned that you were after a cure for the bloodburn.
And that made you change your mind?
Yes. To be frank, I lost someone to the bloodburn. Someone very close to me. And even though nothing is going to bring her back, in other words, I want to offer you my services.
That guard who sent us here, he mentioned a friend of mine, Bertrand. Did you...
harm him? No. I don't even know who or where he is. Leonider gave us that name and told us it would be a good lure. So we paid that guard a handful of coins to tell you his story. That's it.
And just why should we trust you? You're a sellsword.
I can't tell you what to do or feel. But think of it this way. If I had wanted you dead, why would I risk my life to save? Furthermore, word that the assassination failed will get around soon enough. And mark me a betrayer among my kind. Even if I decided to murder you in your sleep, I would not get any money from it.
She has a point.
I do.
That friend you lost, who was it? How did she die?
I would rather not talk about it. Not here. Not now.
How can you help us?
Well, Judging from the trail of blood you left behind, this won't be your last battle. I can make sure they'll end in your favor. Also, I am... how should I put it? Different. I can feel and see things others can't.
Huh. Such as?
Such as the fact that you are searching for something you're afraid you'll never find. There's a voice haunting you from beyond the grave. And you want to do that voice justice.
I don't know what you're talking about, woman.
Maybe. Only you can know this. Long story short, I'm a dreamweaver.
A dreamweaver? I've heard that before. So you're some kind of mentalist?
Close. Let us suffice to say that I feel and perceive differently than most people. In every aspect.
Fair enough. Join us, if you must. We need all the support we can get.
Thank you. There are some things I need to take care of before I'm fully at your disposal. I suggest you finish whatever business you have here, and then meet me at the route back to Iskander.
Will do.
Good. I will be waiting. And thank you for your trust.
And off she goes.
For what it's worth, I think you did the right thing. There's something odd about that woman, but she is telling the truth.
And she definitely knows how to wield those daggers.
She does.
Okay. पूरी नहीं नॉर्मल तो एक ले आ दो ये भी रख दो बस हो गया भैया मेरा
Interesting.
Yes? Did you find anything?
Two things. There's a treant who was affected by the corruption, which makes it likely that it isn't the bloodburn that's causing this. Secondly, there are strange pools further down the jungle, and they seem to be tainted somehow. I doubt this was Ellen's doing.
Tainted, you say? But could it be...
What?
Well, something like this happened before. In Finn and Mir, over 2 centuries before. Which means, however, that I know how to solve this problem too. Blasted, why didn't I think of this earlier? I think it's time to let Arlen in on the results of our little expedition. Come, let's talk at the square. Arlen, our new friend found some interesting news that might be worth talking about.
Now
What?
While you were busy praying our sorrows away, our new friend took the initiative and did some scouting. Care to tell him what we found?
Well, the corruption is neither caused by the bloodburn nor by the Guardians. There are tainted pools down in the jungle which seem to be responsible.
Pools? But...
Yes, Arlen. They have been tainted.
What do you mean? What are those pools and how do we cleanse them from the taint?
They are... how should I put it? The life source of this forest. Apparently there's a cave full of Aria and Lenya beneath Leafshade, which is one of the reasons why this forest is so lush.
So the water is... magical?
Well, not exactly, but it's vital to the forest's survival. If it has somehow been corrupted, which your story suggests it has, that's bad.
And how do we cleanse them? Is this even possible?
Yes, but it's not an easy task. We'll need a lot of resources for that. And our most capable commander, Gilius, is not in Leaf Shade at the moment.
Well, if you want to, I can help. I've served as a commander for almost a decade.
I'm not?
If we do that, give you the command over this place until the problem is solved, do you promise by Ellen not to abuse your power?
Arlen, what?
Do you promise?
Yes, I do.
Good. Then I will instruct the citizens to follow your command. For now, at least. As I said, cleansing the pools is complicated, but possible. In order to do that, we will need to expand our sector. The ritualists need to have free and safe passage through the jungle.
I will do my best. What do we do once we've secured one of those pools?
Instruct our workers to cleanse them and make sure they are protected. If the animals are as savage as you claim, then they might be a real danger. Now, lest we get started. We've wasted enough time already.
Understood.
Good.
Well, that was quick. Let's make sure not to blow our chance.
Fair enough. If we want the elves to be able to perform the rituals on those altars, we'll need to secure a path to them first.
Agreed.